This is like the 8th or 9th Pharrell to release since August. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the Clear Sky Pharrell Human Race NMD from the Inspiration Pack. Thanks so much for tuning in today, whether you've rocked with the channel for a long time or this is the very first video that you've seen, I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe down below. Also make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler. This year, Pharrell and Adidas have been like spamming us with Pharrell releases. It's almost been like every other weekend we get a 4-pack or a 2-pack or a ComplexCon exclusive. There's just so many different colorways to choose from now, which is great because if you missed out on a colorway that you liked, there's a million more that you can grab. Kinda sucks if you're a completionist and just want to have every single Pharrell because that's gonna be expensive, and honestly even paying retail it's still gonna be expensive. Some of the packs that have dropped I've really liked, like I really dug the BBC collection, and then there's other packs like the Afro pack, which I get the inspiration behind it, but I just don't like the way those shoes looked. Pharrell's latest collection, the Inspiration pack, finally seems to go back to basics and really simplifies the upper of the sneaker, which I think is a very good thing. There are 4 colorways that dropped stateside. You've got a black one, a white one, a light blue one, and then a navy one. And then I'm pretty sure there's like a forest green one, which is like a China exclusive. But as I'll talk about later on in the video, I really like how he sort of simplified his collection and made it a much cleaner, much more minimal version of the sneaker. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the sneaker itself. Here it is, the Clear Sky Pharrell Human Race NMD from the Inspiration Pack. Starting off on the upper of the sneaker, you've got this very familiar prime knit in sort of this light blue or clear sky colorway. I've also heard of this knit being called circa knit, but I checked Adidas' website today and they just called it prime knit, so that's just what I'm going to call it for the video. The construction of the upper remains pretty much unchanged from every other prime knit Pharrell. It's still 2 pieces of material sewn together through the center. It's still a booty-like construction, nothing really different here. As you move up on the toe of each shoe, you've got these Chinese characters embroidered in black. Apparently they read empower and inspire. I couldn't tell you which one reads which. That's just my ignorance, but you know, they look great. The quality and texture of the embroidery remains pretty much exactly the same as every other Pharrell. One thing I will say about the Clear Sky colorway, which is by far my favorite colorway out of the pack, is that I really like how they made the embroidery black and not yellow because it ties in really nicely with the black accents on the side of the shoe. I think they could have made the embroidery like a yellow to match the outsole of the sneaker or the laces of the sneaker, but I'm really happy with the choice that they made. In addition to that, the form and almost the pattern that these characters have is really beautiful and is a really nice contrast on the upper of the sneaker. Continuing up on the sneaker, you've got these yellow rope laces which tie in so nicely with the outsole of the shoe. If you're not a huge fan of this contrast, you can also switch them out for some clear sky or light blue laces that match the upper of the sneaker that also come in the box. Continuing back on the sneaker, around the opening of the ankle area, you've got this East African inspired dot pattern that can first be found on the Afro pack. I like how they kept that hit minimal and only included it on the trim of the ankle area. It's a nice pattern, but all over the sneaker it'd be a bit much. The inside of the sneaker is pretty much identical to every other Pharrell Human Race NMD. You've got a black prime knit sock liner that doesn't really have any padding to speak of. Your foot is kind of just sitting in the sneaker as it would in a sock. And then rounding off the inside of the sneaker, you've got that very thin piece of material that sort of acts like an insole and also has a foot reflexology chart printed onto it. As for fit, the Inspiration pack fits pretty much true to size. It also fits just like every other Pharrell Human Race NMD. So if you've tried any of those on, you know exactly what size to go for in these. But as I always say, if you have a chance to try a pair of these on first before you buy it, which honestly shouldn't be as hard as it was a couple years ago, definitely do that to make sure the sizing is right for you. On the midfoot of the sneaker, you've got the signature triangular shaped midfoot cage. I've said this before and I'll definitely say it again, but I really love this accent. I love how you can customize the way the laces sit. I love how clean this accent is. I like how it ties into these sort of NMD pods on the side of the shoe. I just think it's a great touch. Moving around to the back of the shoe, you've got this sort of dull orange heel tab. On the right shoe, you've got Adidas' trefoil logo debossed in black, and on the left shoe, you've got Pharrell's logo. Continuing down the sneaker, you've got that signature NMD Boost midsole, which pretty much hasn't changed since the first Pharrell. As I mentioned before, you've got your NMD pods in black that are also connected to the midfoot cage. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this trail outsole in this bright yellow, which also matches the laces. Overall, I really like the Clear Sky Pharrell Human Race NMD. I really dig this colorway. I think they did a great job with it, and like I said before, this is my favorite out of the entire Inspiration pack. Honestly, also, this is one of the more wearable Pharrells that I own, and probably will be one that I wear on a pretty regular basis. And actually, after saying that, this might be one of my favorite Pharrell colorways to ever release. And where that's funny is that with all the different Pharrells that have released, there are only like 5 or like 6 in total that I really like. The other ones are fine, they're just not something that I'd want to wear on a very regular basis. What I'm about to say is not something I ever thought that I would say about a Pharrell, because I thought that it was always going to be a relatively limited sneaker. But a lot of people are probably asking themselves now, is this Pharrell worth the $250 price point? And my personal opinion on that is that if you really like the colorway, or you don't have any Pharrells and you just want to have a pair of Pharrells, go for it. But if you're just buying it because it's the latest Pharrell to come out and you just like having hype sneakers, maybe let this one go. And hopefully you're not buying it for resale, because it's probably not gonna move for you. But that's pretty much everything I have to say about this sneaker. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the Pharrell Human Race NMD from the Inspiration pack, and whether you're planning to grab a pair for yourself, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.